of this work done by Friday. I'm so behind on all of my modules. Why does UCT have so much work?
Fallen behind on your modules, don't know how to catch up, feel overwhelmed by all of the schoolwork, all of your SBAs, all your formal assessments that were supposed to be submitted 3 weeks ago and are still waiting to be done. I got this video just for you guys. Hey guys, it's Kira and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video, I've been filming a lot of UCT, but it seems like most of my followers and subscribers are UCT students, so I think this is what I'm probably gonna post more of recently. So this video is practically on like how to get back on track and find motivation to actually do all of your schoolwork. I'm hoping this video does help some people. Tip number 1, acceptance and motivation. Guys, accept it. Like, you guys are behind on your module, accept it, cry about it, maybe go on a whole little ranting spree on how you're never gonna get this work done, but you need to eventually accept it and move on with your life, because you guys are gonna have to get this thing done eventually, so might as well start. Complaining about how far behind you are won't get you anywhere, whether you like it or not. You have to have a plan on how you're gonna get ahead of your work or how to complete all of your work. Or are you gonna sit and complain about it even more? Because that's the majority of what the people want to do, and a majority of those people are always behind. So you do not want to be like a majority of those people, you want to be different. Stop waiting for motivation. Guys, motivation in UCT isn't going to get you anywhere. You need discipline in order to succeed. You need to be able to sit yourself down at your desk and say, okay, this time is when I'm going to work. So you work. You don't rely on motivation. Oh, you know, Roy Gilmore aesthetic, go for that. That's probably not gonna get at you anyway. Like, that's gonna like last this long when discipline will last you this long, or like even longer, you know. And you guys have probably already been scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all of this, trying to find motivation for the past like 3 or 4 hours. That's not gonna get you anywhere. The time you guys have spent scrolling through social media, you guys probably could have done those 2 or 3 modules that you've been behind in. Or those SBAs that have been sitting on your desk for like a week that were supposed to be submitted in module 9. Make it make sense. Why would you rather sit on your phone and then completely be stressing about your schoolwork when you could have had that schoolwork done and been relaxing on your phone by now? Imagine it the complete opposite way. You could have had all of your modules done. You could have been sitting on your phone with your dog or your cat or whatever and scrolling through TikTok or watching YouTube or Netflix or whatever and being completely calm and not stressing about the work that you still have to get done. Tip number 2, discipline. I hate to break it to you, but you guys might have to cancel that drill that you guys are going on Friday in order to catch up your work. Now, 90% of you are probably going to be rolling your eyes at me right now. I hate to say it, but if you decided Tuesday, I don't feel like doing work, I'm gonna sleep in late, I'm gonna do TikTok all day, I'm gonna make TikToks, I'm gonna watch Netflix and everything, I don't care about my schoolwork, and I still haven't finished Monday's work, you guys might have to cancel your Friday night plans. And you guys are probably thinking, I would rather take my eye out with a spoon than cancel my Friday night plans in order to do schoolwork. Guys, when are you gonna do your schoolwork? Saturday. I hate to break it to you guys, but you guys are not gonna do it Saturday or Sunday when it's supposed to be submitted. You guys are just going to stress about it, complain about it, and then do nothing about it. So, in order to catch up those modules, you guys are probably going to have to cancel those Friday night plans and stay up until 12:30 at night to do those modules or your SBAs, or do whatever assessments that you have that are outstanding. But the bright side is, if you do it now, you don't ever have to worry about it again. So these first 2 tips aren't really tips. I'm going to call them tips, but they're not really tips. They're kind of more things that you guys just have to have in order to be able to move on and do your work. Tip number 3, prioritizing. Prioritize your SBAs and your formal assessments. I cannot stress this enough. Most people leave it until Friday 2:59 when it's supposed to be like done and submitted at 3 on a Friday, or Sunday at 4:59 when it's supposed to be submitted at 5. Why are you guys leaving it to literally the last second? I know you guys are procrastinating and you don't want to do it, but I hate to break it to you, you guys have to do it eventually. And you might as well get it done Monday, because then you guys have a chilled, more calm week and you're not stressing about the modules and the SBAs that you guys still need to do. The whole week from after you done that on Monday or Tuesday or whenever it took you to finish, up until that Friday, you know that you guys have gotten that out of the way. And you don't have to worry about it, you know? It's gone. You can just do your modules. It's a little bit more calm, a little bit more chilled. Prioritize your SBAs. And I am definitely one of those people who leave it until the last minute. But guys, don't be like me. Be better. Do it early on in the week, because once it's out of the way, it's out of the way. Tip number 4, be careful when taking breaks. I am very, very guilty about this. I mean, if you guys watch my previous video, I'll link it in the iCard or whatever it's called now. I went on a break at 9:30, and I only realized that my break wasn't a half an hour break when it was 12:30 or like 12. So be careful when taking a break. A personal thing that I like to do is leave my phone in my room. I'll set a timer that usually with something like a sound that annoys me, so I know that I have to switch it off like fast, you know, because otherwise I will just like go crazy. And I'll go to the lounge and I'll go and watch my Netflix or my Desperate Housewives or anything like that, Kim Kardashian or whatever you guys want to say or watch or do or whatever. But once you get that alarm with your phone on your iPad or your laptop or whatever you have setting an alarm on your desk, it makes you come towards your room, go to your desk in order to switch it off. So you're already here. There's no reason for you to walk back. You know, you're already here. Just start your work, do it again. Even if you hate it, even if you don't want to do your work, sit down. You can do it, girl, and do it. I was watching a video of this other girl also filming a video similar to this, and when she said take breaks, like I wasn't actually going to like add this into the video, but when she said be careful when taking breaks, because otherwise you guys are going to go over your 30 minutes or over your 5 minutes or over, I felt personally attacked, like, because I was very one of those people who completely are oblivious to time during the day. So I was like, I need to add this into the video. Tip number 5, just do it. As Nike would say, or Nike, or however people say it now, just do it. Like, end of story. Sit down at your desk, and I'm telling you, this is probably one of the hardest things that people do. It's very difficult. You hate sitting down and having to start and everything like that. But guys, sit down at your desk and just do it. Just start. Just pick up that pen, start writing. Open your schoolwork, start writing. Do your studies, start your SBA. Just start somewhere. Because the 90% of those people, and I am guilty of one of those 90%, and I'm sure that you are also, the person watching this video, you probably are also, saying,
I'll start at 4.
4:03 comes. No.
I'll start at 4:30.
4:34 comes.
No, I'll start at 5.
And the whole cycle continues until you guys never start. Guys, I hate to break it to you again, and I know I'm saying that a lot today. You do not have to start on the dot of something in order to start your work. Just start. It can be at 4:31. You start. You sit down at your desk, you pick up that pen, and you start writing. But once you guys get into the emotion of starting, and once after like a couple minutes, it will become like, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing now. You guys will get into like a zone, and you'll be like, okay, I'm working now. And you guys will actually do your work, and you guys will get into a zone where it's like difficult to get out of it, and that is what you guys want. Like, you want to have like the zone of solely focusing on, I'm doing this work, okay, cool, let me carry on. And then once you guys start getting tired, or it feels like your brain just isn't working, not over after like 15 minutes, guys, I mean like after like a couple hours, then you guys can be like, okay, I'll chill now, I'm done, I did work, I made progress, I did this. And guys, 1% better every day is still 1% better. Like, you need to build. It doesn't come overnight. It won't be from a failing student up until like a top student, like one of the top 1% that are getting 90s and everything. Guys, that won't come overnight. Like, I've been trying to do that overnight. It does not come overnight. It comes over a couple months, you know, like it's like a lot of hard dedication to get on track, stay ahead, get those top grades, social life, and balance all of these things into one. You know, like it's very difficult, but you get used to it after time. Now you're probably wondering, and I have been asked this question, how do you actually write your notes and get all your work done into your books? Guys, simple. Symbols and summaries. You do not have to write what the campus gives you word for word. That is wasting your time. read through it, know what is actually important and what will actually be asked in a test, and actually just write that down. You do not have to say there are 3 groups of this: omnivores, herbivores, and carnivores. And then go under and say a omnivore does this and eats this, and then a carnivore does this and this. Do what I did. I'll insert it here. It says modes of nutrition. So as you can see, I wrote of as a symbol. That's how I always write it. I've been writing it like that since grade 8. It's just how I've been writing it. And then it says carnivore, herbivore, and omnivore. So in the campus, I'll show you now. It says carnivore, an animal that eats other animals, and then it gives examples. Herbivore, an animal that eats plants, gives examples. Omnivore, an animal that eats that both plants and other animals. Examples. What I did was I wrote down the 3 types: the carnivore, herbivore, and omnivore, and I just pointed an arrow and said animals, as they eat animals. Herbivore eats plants, and omnivore is both. That's how I wrote it down. I did not write down everything that campus gave me. I summarized it into 3 lines. This image, they are talking about teeth of an animal, right? And you can see how much they wrote down, and I was like, okay, the first 3 paragraphs aren't important. Like, they're really not. Like, it's in this lesson, we focus specifically on the teeth of mammals and how, we do not need to write that down in our books. It's just not important. It's not going to be asked in the test. It's not knowledge that we actually have to know. That is just the overview. So as you can see in this image of my book, where it says, I kind of summarized that. I drew the pictures. I showed what it is. I showed that certain carnivores have specifically adapted premolars and molars called, I can't even say the word actually. Summarize the most important things, which is practically the second last paragraph I wrote down, and then that's practically all I wrote down, because that's the important stuff, it's not really anything else. And then I drew the pictures to show what they look like, because that is important. I wrote down the importance. I summarized the whole paragraph because I knew what was important, what wasn't, and I wrote that down in my book. That is how I do my notes. You do not need to write down everything that campus has just said, okay? You can change some of the words to make you understand it more if they used a different word, but you kind of understand it, but you just need a better grip. Write it down in ways that you actually understand, because that will also cut down your study time. It's that simple. You summarize it into the stuff that you need to know. If you already know this to the T, do not have to write it. If you want to just write it just to make double sure, or double check it eventually, or just in case you forget it, write it down. That's why I wrote this down, in case I muddle them up, because that's usually what I do. I do muddle up my words sometimes. So that's how I write my notes for every subject. And some people struggle to do their work in the morning. What I do, I'm also a little bit sleepy in the morning. I don't really want to start my work. Usually it's Afrikaans in the morning. I don't want to do Afrikaans in the morning, guys. Who wants to do Afrikaans in the morning? So I have Red Bulls. I am the biggest Red Bull fan of all time, and I'm pretty sure if you follow my Instagram, you'll see that I probably always have Red Bulls everywhere. If I'm studying, there's probably a Red Bull on my desk or something like that. This is definitely my favorite one. I just get packs of them for the week. But guys, if you have caffeine, please be careful with how much caffeine intake you have. It's not really not good for you. It's not good for you at all. But if you have it in moderation, it's sharp. What I do during the day is I have one of these in the morning, and I have 1 can a day. So in the morning, the only reason why I take it in the morning is because it gives me that boost and a little bit more of a drive to start my work and just do it. Because it gives me enough time to get into that focus of, okay, I'm doing my work, and then it's hard for me to come out of that. So once I start, I struggle to stop, which is good. It's not a bad thing. I can get a majority of my work out the way, and I can do at least 2 days worth of work during a day if I have that. If I don't, then I work really slowly because I get quite distracted. So I'm not going to say everybody needs to have caffeine in the morning. Please do not use my words against me. I'm saying this is a tip that I used and it helps me quite a bit. But guys, please do not have too much caffeine. It's really not good for you. That's why I only limit myself to 1 a day. Almost said 8. 1 a day is enough. So another tip I probably should have mentioned earlier is I'm not calling you guys lazy for not wanting to do your schoolwork. I'm not saying that in any way or source, and this is just tips if you are struggling to get back on track. But guys, you need to have a rest day where you do not do anything. You just chill. Well, you can go out with your friends, but you need to relax and stop worrying about your schoolwork. Or otherwise you are going to be so tired that you're not going to be able to do your schoolwork, and all of these tips are just going to be a waste. No matter how much caffeine, no matter how much sleep, you're still going to be mentally drained. So you guys need to have the certain time of the day or day of the week or whatever, or something that gets your mind off of schoolwork, right? I'm gonna link this to another video that I'm gonna film eventually, but don't go on social media because that doesn't help. Do something that gets your mind off of it, whether that's going for a walk, read a book, have a nap. Have a certain time in your day where you do not worry about your schoolwork, because then you can actually rest, and that will also give you another boost in order to start your work. But if you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and this channel is actually growing a lot faster than I thought it was. I'm actually very surprised, and thank you so much. But that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll post this probably Friday if I feel like it. We'll have to see. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.